There comes a point during an outing with a woman, whether she is a familiar acquaintance or a romantic interest, where an unspoken dynamic emerges. It's not a deliberate consideration, but rather an intuitive sense she perceives. She may find herself contemplating whether she should take charge, or if he is the one steering the interaction. The truth is, women are often drawn to men who exude strength, dominance, and a sense of masculinity. This leads us to the essential question: how can one effectively convey that dominant masculine energy? Today, we will explore 5 key traits that embody this essence. There are several effective ways to genuinely express dominant energy while spending time with a woman, as this trait is often considered highly attractive. When discussing this concept with friends or explaining it to someone who may not fully understand, it's important to clarify that masculinity does not conform to a rigid alpha stereotype. It isn't solely about projecting a tough image like that of a bodybuilder or a biker. This notion can indeed be perplexing. I experienced similar confusion when I first encountered it, and many men seem to share this sentiment, particularly when they observe individuals with softer facial features being prematurely labeled as beta males. However, the reality is that I've witnessed numerous men who appear intimidating and muscular, adorned with tattoos, yet they falter in the presence of a woman, often displaying vulnerability akin to that of a child. Thus, true masculinity transcends mere physical appearance. It's not merely about appearances, it's about the energy you exude. The attitude you bring to interactions, particularly with women, is crucial. To illustrate this point more vividly, consider the contrast between a kitten and a tiger. The reason the tiger garners greater respect is quite simple. It is far more difficult to tame and control. This analogy applies to women as well. They are not seeking the predictability of a kitten, but rather the intrigue and challenge presented by a tiger, something that requires effort to understand and connect with. So, how can you embody that tiger-like presence? We will explore 5 strategies, 5 approaches, and 5 mindsets that you can cultivate when engaging with women. Importantly, these mindsets extend beyond dating. They are equally effective in professional settings, whether interacting with colleagues, clients, or superiors. These attitudes convey a strong masculine energy that commands respect in all areas of life. 1. Let us begin by discussing the first essential trait: the willingness to disengage. It is important to demonstrate that you are prepared to walk away from a situation. This concept is something my friends and I discovered during our college years. We often hosted parties at our residence, and we developed a strategy we referred to as the walkaway. The insight we gained was that, early in the evening, if we were conversing with a girl we found attractive, our likelihood of capturing her interest significantly increased when we chose to step away from the conversation after a while. Many men tend to follow a predictable pattern in their interactions, often feeling the need to remain present throughout the conversation. They worry that stepping away might lead to someone else capturing her attention, resulting in a loss of interest. However, we found a valuable insight. If you're engaged in a pleasant conversation, casually mentioning that you need to catch up with friends and will reconnect later can create a sense of intrigue. This approach can significantly elevate her interest, as it demonstrates that you are not overly dependent on her company. By adopting this mindset, you become more elusive, akin to a tiger that is not easily tamed, which is a strategic move. The idea of stepping back and conveying your willingness to do so can be executed in various ways. One effective method is to avoid excessive enthusiasm or approval for everything she says. Many men, particularly when in the presence of an attractive woman, hesitate to express any disinterest or boredom, fearing it may diminish their chances. Consider a scenario where she is sharing a story that doesn't quite meet your expectations. For instance, if she discusses cheating in a lighthearted manner, the average nice guy might respond with enthusiasm, saying, "That's interesting." However, if you truly believe that her actions are inappropriate, It's important to address it directly. This approach demonstrates that you have principles and are not afraid to stand by them, indicating that you are prepared to disengage if your values do not match. In the context of dating, conveying your willingness to walk away is essential. Many men express their frustration with women who frequently cancel plans or provide vague responses, often saying they will get back to them later. This behavior can be quite exasperating. However, it's essential to demonstrate your readiness to move on if necessary. To understand the impact of this approach, I recommend watching the video linked in the description. You might wonder if issuing an ultimatum is the right strategy, but that's not advisable. Instead, communicate directly and let her know that inconsistency is a significant deterrent for you. Spending time together was enjoyable, but I have doubts about the potential for a lasting connection. At this juncture, two scenarios may unfold. She might express relief, thinking that she didn't particularly like you, thus saving both of you time. Alternatively, she could realize that you are not tolerating her behavior like others might, which could prompt her to pursue you instead. The essential aspect here is to maintain the willingness to walk away when necessary. Additionally, I want to address the importance of establishing boundaries, which are essentially the personal guidelines you create for yourself. For example, a woman may choose not to engage in intimate behavior on a first date, and it is crucial to honor that decision. Interestingly, when she asserts such a boundary, it often leads to increased respect and attraction as she demonstrates strength and conviction rather than simply yielding to immediate attraction. As men, we should aim to resonate with this kind of assertiveness. In our interactions with her, as well as in the broader context of life, various factors can influence her experience. For instance, I keep my phone on Do Not Disturb mode throughout the day to maintain my concentration while writing and producing videos. Receiving messages or calls disrupts my focus, which is why I have established this boundary. In a typical scenario, a well-meaning individual might feel anxious about missing her messages if he keeps his phone on Do Not Disturb, fearing that it could diminish her interest in him. He may consider adjusting his boundaries to allow her messages to come through, but the more appealing and assertive approach would be to communicate clearly. He could say something like, "My phone is on Do Not Disturb during the day. If I don't respond immediately, I typically check my messages at lunch and will get back to you if necessary. Please don't take it personally. I don't reply to anyone during the day, including you." This straightforwardness is effective. I had a friend named Rico who insisted on a no-shoes policy in his home. Initially, he felt uncertain about whether to let a woman keep her shoes on, but he eventually established his boundary, and to his surprise, women found him more attractive. It turns out they appreciated his clarity more than he realized. There are various types of boundaries one can set. For instance, during certain periods of my life, I wake up very early. If you're on a date, it's perfectly fine to say, "I need to get up early tomorrow, so I'm going to head out now," rather than prolonging the evening unnecessarily. It's all about establishing those boundaries, and it's worth considering how women respond to them. Engaging with single mothers can often be one of the most appealing experiences. They establish clear boundaries, prioritize their children, and adhere to specific rules, which tends to attract men. I've observed this dynamic firsthand, men pursuing single mothers because they are not always the focal point of attention. While not universally applicable, many women maintain these boundaries and are unlikely to compromise them for a new relationship, which enhances their allure. It's essential to have similar commitments in your life. For instance, I have friends who dedicate Sundays to golf with their group. When they begin dating, they communicate this up front. Sundays are reserved for golf. Women often test this commitment by suggesting alternative plans, like attending a friend's event. They want to gauge whether a man is willing to forego his golf day for a social gathering. While it may appear that sacrificing this time demonstrates strong interest, it can lead to the woman thinking, "I was able to influence him more easily than I expected." She is unlikely to be interested in someone who is difficult to manage. Now, shifting focus to projecting a masculine energy, It is important to be prepared to say no. I often emphasize that the most appealing word you can express to a woman is no. Allow me to reiterate for clarity. The most captivating word you can say to a woman is no. I have observed this dynamic among men, and I would like to share an experience from my time as a waiter. I worked alongside several young women, which was a great opportunity to meet new people. There was a guy named Bob who had quite the reputation. You had the option to exchange shifts, correct? For instance, if I was assigned to work on a Friday night but preferred to take the night off, I could request a colleague to take my place. The female staff were aware that Bob had a hard time declining requests. They would approach him, engage in some light flirting, and say, "I need someone to cover for me on New Year's Eve. Could you help me out?" Bob, being his usual self, would respond, "New Year's Eve? I have other commitments." However, with a little charm and a heartfelt appeal, he would ultimately agree to take the shift. He believed he was gaining favor, but that wasn't quite the case. Conversely, if a woman approached me with a similar request, my response would be, "No way! Do you really believe I'm going to work on New Year's Eve for you?" Interestingly, even as I decline, it would earn me a lot more respect. Declining is the right approach, my friend. This tactic is also employed by female friends. If you have a female friend who has always been aware of her influence over you, she will notice when you start dating someone new. Suddenly, she may increase her flirtation and attempt to divert your attention from that new relationship. She might suggest, "Why don't we go out tonight?" If you have some feelings for her and are not entirely committed to the new girl, you might think, "She must be feeling jealous. I should take this opportunity to spend time with her." However, by doing so, you are giving her exactly what she desires. The true power move is to say no. You can say, "I have plans tonight, but let's catch up another time." By asserting your refusal, you demonstrate confidence in your choices and comfort in your own energy and masculinity. No amount of flirtation will sway your decision. That is where true strength resides. This concept relates to the idea of favors and expectations. Picture yourself at a bar, enjoying a conversation with someone new, and she asks, "Could you hold my bag for a moment?" Fast forward 20 minutes and you find yourself awkwardly holding her bag. Instead, consider this. Simply say, "I'm not comfortable holding your bag, but I'd be happy to continue our conversation when you return." This approach will earn you her respect. I often reflect on this. Would you do the same for your friends? If a friend asked you to hold his umbrella all night at a bar, you would likely decline, saying it's not going to happen. However, if an attractive woman makes the same request and you agree, you find yourself holding her umbrella for the entire evening. Congratulations, you've just become the easily manageable tiger. The key takeaway here is to be prepared to say no. Now, let's move on to the next topic, which actually relates closely to the previous one. The first concept we'll discuss is what I like to call approval honesty. This term refers to the idea that you should avoid using approval as a strategy to establish rapport. During a natural and engaging conversation, expressing enthusiasm with comments like, "Oh my God, that's so cool," is perfectly fine when the chemistry is right. However, many men make the mistake of overdoing it early on. When they sit down for a date or begin to get to know a woman, they often start showering her with immediate approval, mistakenly believing it will enhance their appeal. In truth, this behavior merely signals that you are an easily tamed tiger. You don't need to rush in with excessive praise. It's impressive that you engage in that activity, and I must say those shoes are quite stylish. Consider taking a moment to relax and adopt a more evaluative stance. I encourage you to share more details about it. Allow her the opportunity to make an effort to gain your admiration or approval. This is the strategy to follow. Let's delve into the concept of taming a tiger. It's not a quick process. Taming a tiger requires patience and dedication. The more effort she invests, the greater respect she will develop for you as a man. Building on this, here's a piece of advice. Avoid the habit of constantly justifying yourself. Picture a conversation where the subject shifts to her previous relationship. She might say something like, "My ex was so irritating, always glued to the TV for football on Sundays, leaving me with no time." Then, there's often someone who feels the need to interject, saying, "I would never do that. My ex was into a show that drove me crazy." The issue with this approach is that it can diminish your perceived value in her eyes. We often fall into this trap in different ways, such as agreeing with everything she says or trying to highlight qualities we believe will impress her. For instance, saying, "I love to travel too. My work schedule is perfect for it." Why introduce that detail? It's an attempt to elevate your standing in her view. The truth is, a confident approach involves allowing her to align with your standards. It's not about dominating the conversation. It's about being firm in your own preferences. I appreciate women who are true to their interests. I prefer not to have someone feigning interest to gain my approval or canceling their commitments for my sake. I seek a woman who establishes her own boundaries, someone capable of saying no and who will not tolerate disrespectful behavior. This is not about exerting control. It's about fostering mutual respect. It's essential to treat yourself in a manner that commands her respect, just as you respect her. One piece of advice I often share with men is the concept of disqualifying oneself. While it may seem like a strategy at times, it's also a genuine approach I adopt. Imagine this scenario. A woman expresses her frustration, stating that she cannot tolerate untidy individuals, and frankly, she perceives you as somewhat disorganized. In response, I might casually mention, "You can go ahead and remove me from consideration because I definitely fit that description." This effectively disqualifies myself from her interest. Suppose she embodies a strong feminist perspective, advocating for workplace equality and similar ideals. If that doesn't align with your beliefs, it's best to be straightforward about it. Personally, I lean towards traditional values. I envision a partner who prepares dinner for me upon my return home and offers a foot massage. If that lifestyle doesn't resonate with her, it serves as a disqualification. Interestingly, the nice guy may think he is eliminating himself from the running, but in reality, he becomes more appealing. Why is that? Because he is not desperately seeking validation. He is willing to risk rejection, demonstrating that he has boundaries, is comfortable saying no, and does not constantly seek approval. This is the true essence of masculinity. If you found value in this video, please consider giving us a thumbs up and sharing it with your single friends who might benefit from this information. It's important to understand that true masculinity isn't about projecting a tough exterior. It's about the feelings and thoughts within. Love is the most beautiful emotion in the world, connecting us all. It has the power to elevate you to great heights, yet it can also bring you crashing down unexpectedly. Loving the wrong person can prevent you from experiencing the profound joy that comes with genuine love. It's a precarious situation that can disrupt your life if the individual you cherish does not reciprocate your feelings. This dynamic can become an obsession, leading you to chase after their affection more fervently, ultimately resulting in feelings of emptiness and despair. As your desire intensifies, your self-worth and dignity may diminish. You may love them deeply, yet they may choose to overlook, belittle, or disregard you. However, the reality is that you do not have to remain captive to this longing. It's time to change your approach. In this video, I will present 7 effective psychological strategies to shift the balance so that others will seek your affection. Rule 1. Cease over-investing in relationships. Instead, allow others to contribute to the partnership. Relationships should be reciprocal. You have been exerting too much effort, and it's time for that to be reassessed. You should not be the sole initiator, planner, or sustainer of the relationship. It is draining and inequitable. Encourage them to take initiative. It is essential for them to demonstrate their commitment as much as you do. This situation is not a matter of manipulation. Rather, it concerns establishing a fair and equitable relationship where both individuals contribute equally. If you consistently assume all responsibilities, they may become complacent and fail to appreciate your efforts. Consider stepping back slightly to allow them the opportunity to invest their own effort. This approach is beneficial for the relationship and advantageous for your well-being. You will soon discern the extent of their investment. Keep in mind that a relationship is fundamentally a partnership. This is not an individual endeavor. It emphasizes the importance of mutual effort. By adopting this approach, you cultivate respect and promote a healthier, more equitable relationship. Rule 2. Avoid giving your attention away indiscriminately. Allow others to earn your focus at a cost. Your attention is a valuable asset, and when you distribute it freely, it loses its significance. It is essential to require effort from others to gain your attention. Your time, focus, and energy should be regarded as something to be earned rather than freely given. This principle is not about being unkind. It is about self-respect and encouraging others to respect you as well. If you are perpetually available, you risk becoming commonplace. Strive to be unique and desirable, so take a step back. Do not respond immediately to every call. Instead, help others understand that your attention is a privilege. By doing so, you enhance your intrigue and value. Individuals begin to perceive you differently, recognizing that your time is valuable and should not be overlooked. This shift in perception is how you begin to alter the dynamics. Your focus should be regarded as a privilege, not something to be freely given. Rule 3 emphasizes the importance of conveying that you are self-sufficient and can lead a fulfilling life independently of them. Demonstrating your independence is a significant strategy. When you show that you can find joy on your own, it signals that you are not in need of their validation or presence to enhance your day. Instead, you are the architect of your own happiness. That is appealing. It commands respect. You are not distant. Rather, you exude confidence. You demonstrate that your life does not solely depend on them. This approach is not about being unkind. It is about embodying strength. It reflects your ability to be whole on your own. When they observe that you are not reliant on them for your happiness, their perception of you shifts. They come to understand that you are not merely someone who depends on them. You are an individual who chooses to be with them, not one who feels compelled to do so. Keep in mind that independence is essential. Demonstrate that you are content on your own, and you will notice an increase in their attention. You are not just another option in their life. You become a desirable choice. Rule 4. Be prepared to sever connections if you are treated as insignificant. This is a challenging principle, but it is crucial. You must establish a clear expectation for how you wish to be treated. If they fail to meet that expectation and make you feel undervalued, it is time. To understand the significance of walking away, I encourage you to watch this video to the end and pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you. You can also subscribe to this channel for more viewing. If not, it's best to refrain from wasting your time. This isn't about being unkind, it's about recognizing your own value. You should no longer accept being a secondary option or a fallback. You are entitled to be a priority. If others fail to recognize that, they do not deserve your time. This principle goes beyond making a point. It is about safeguarding your self-worth. Demonstrating that you will not accept poor treatment conveys a powerful message. It communicates to them and others that you recognize your worth. The moment you are prepared to walk away if you feel undervalued, you assert your demand for respect. This indicates that you are not someone to be underestimated. Such strength not only garners respect, but also attracts the right kind of attention. Rule 5. Cease being overly emotionally reliant on them. By no longer depending on them for your emotional stability, you will gain significant emotional resilience. It is essential to be your own source of support. Relying on another for your happiness or to uplift you during tough times relinquishes too much control. You must take charge of your own emotions. Begin addressing your feelings independently. Cultivate your emotional fortitude. This approach is not about excluding them. Rather, it is about not depending on them for every minor issue. You must first learn to manage your own challenges. This approach benefits you beyond your personal growth. It alters their perception of you, highlighting your resilience and independence. Such qualities are appealing and foster respect, making you someone others desire to be near. By not emotionally depending on them, you elevate your role from merely a partner to an individual they admire and regard as strong. This is the position you aim to achieve. Adhere to the fourth principle, which emphasizes emotional self-sufficiency. By doing so, you will not only enhance your own strength, but also be recognized as a person worth pursuing. Rule 6. Cease the pursuit of attention and validation. Your self-worth is not contingent upon others' opinions. Too often, you have sought their approval, waiting for a sign that you are on the right track. It is time to put an end to that. Your value, your choices, and your life are legitimate because you affirm them, not because someone else does. You must assert your identity with confidence. Trust in your decisions, actions, and beliefs. By no longer seeking their approval, you begin to empower yourself. This transformation extends beyond your personal growth. It alters their perception of you. When they observe that you are not reliant on their opinions and are not eager for their endorsement, they will begin to respect you more. They will recognize you as an equal, someone who possesses self-assurance. Keep in mind that your validation originates from within, not from external sources. Rule 6 emphasizes self-confidence and the understanding of your worth without the need for external affirmation. Embrace this principle and witness the shift in dynamics. You will not only grow stronger, but also become someone they admire rather than look down upon. Rule 7. Avoid overtly displaying the extent of your affection or concern for them. Allow them to feel the desire for your love and attention. Refrain from revealing all your feelings immediately, as this can diminish your influence. When you express everything about your care, it may lead them to take you for granted. It's important to maintain a degree of reserve. This can spark curiosity and motivate them to seek your love. If you offer everything too soon, you risk becoming just another easily forgotten individual. Keep the depth of your feelings somewhat concealed. Encourage them to pursue that emotional connection. This approach is not about manipulation. It's about demonstrating your value. Your love is a precious gift, not something to be freely given. Make them strive for it. By doing so, you transition from being merely an acquaintance to someone they genuinely wish to impress. It is important to remember that by not revealing everything about yourself, you can pique others' curiosity. The more intrigued they become, the more they will recognize your value. Keeping an element of mystery can lead to increased appreciation from those around you. Trust is a fundamental aspect of all relationships, whether with friends, family, or new acquaintances. In this video, I will discuss 9 types of individuals with whom you should be cautious regarding trust. While it is important to pay attention to the traits I will outline, there is no need to analyze every single word or action excessively. Observing both what they say and how they behave is crucial for understanding their true character. I will examine each of these personality types and explain why it may be prudent to be cautious in fully trusting them. If you notice someone displaying these traits, it is wise to remain alert and reconsider before fully investing your trust in them as a true friend or partner. When I mention a lack of respect, I am not referring to unkindness or disrespect, as that would contradict Stoic principles. It is essential to understand when to create distance from individuals whose behavior may adversely affect your life or well-being. The first type of person often exhibits a critical nature, consistently pointing out flaws, particularly in others. If you observe someone who frequently disparages others, it reflects more on their character than on those they are criticizing. This critical attitude reveals important facets of their personality. Maintaining a distance from individuals who engage in gossip can be beneficial for nurturing positive relationships. If they are known to spread rumors about others, it is likely they will do the same about you when you are not present. Therefore, it is wise to keep your distance. Those who frequently gossip and undermine the reputations of others often lack commendable traits in their behavior. They tend to exploit the weaknesses of others to gain attention within their social circles, and you may find yourself becoming a target of their gossip as well. As you view this video, consider those who invest their time in criticism and rumor mongering. Typically, these individuals are not focused on productive activities such as work or managing their personal and financial obligations. Their comments often reflect their own dissatisfaction and lack of direction. Consequently, it is prudent to be cautious and avoid sharing your personal life and plans with them. It is best to disregard and distance yourself from those who speak ill of others. Be mindful that others may have similar thoughts about you. The second category consists of individuals who consistently project friendliness, donning a smile and exuding positive energy while making themselves available to you at all times. Despite their seemingly warm and sociable demeanor, it is wise to be cautious in extending your trust to them. This caution is warranted because those who aim to please everyone and uphold a cheerful exterior often value their own popularity more than authentic relationships. To them, you may merely represent another person in their network, a tool for attracting and maintaining attention. Such individuals typically seek validation and companionship, existing within a facade of pretense. Therefore, it is advisable to remain vigilant, as an individual who is excessively extroverted and well-liked may easily take your place. Additionally, one should be cautious of the third category of individuals, namely manipulators. This caution is crucial for maintaining healthy relationships and protecting your emotional health. Manipulators are defined by their self-interested behavior, often pursuing their own benefits at the cost of others. They frequently utilize strategies such as deception, psychological games, and emotional coercion to fulfill their aims. The tactics employed by these individuals can be quite subtle, making them difficult to detect at first glance. Such behavior can occur in a variety of environments, including both personal and professional spheres. Trusting these individuals can lead to feelings of betrayal, emotional distress, and a collapse of trust. It is vital to be aware of the signs of manipulation to safeguard yourself. These signs may include ambiguous communication, erratic behavior, and a lingering feeling of being controlled by another person. Defining explicit boundaries is essential for personal well-being. Clearly articulating discomfort and establishing limits in response to manipulative behavior serves as a protective measure. In certain situations, withdrawing from the relationship may be the most effective response, especially if manipulative tactics continue. Self-respect involves acknowledging when a relationship is harmful and taking proactive steps to protect your mental health. This may require cutting ties with those who exhibit manipulative tendencies and seeking emotional support. Maintaining a lack of trust and respect for manipulators is a critical aspect of self-care. By recognizing the indicators of manipulation, setting firm boundaries, and prioritizing your own well-being, you can foster healthier and more genuine relationships. The fourth category to approach with caution includes those who lack empathy and are prone to deceit or causing harm for their own benefit. These individuals struggle to understand or connect with the emotions of others, which makes them less dependable. In contrast, empathetic people usually avoid causing harm because they recognize the impact of their actions. When someone is comfortable inflicting pain on others, it often indicates a significant lack of empathy, which undermines their reliability. Furthermore, such individuals often evade responsibility for their actions, as those who are untrustworthy tend to be self-absorbed, focusing on their own needs while ignoring the repercussions of their conduct. The fifth type to be cautious of is the person who pretends to listen. You may encounter someone who, in an attempt to keep a conversation going, offers vague responses such as, "I understand," or "that's true," without any real engagement. This behavior is not only tiresome, but also unproductive. Disrespect is also evident in such behavior. The most frustrating part arises when it is your opportunity to speak, and the other person pretends to be engaged while actually being distracted by their phone, or they offer superficial agreement without any real interest in what you are saying. In any conversation, it is expected that the other person will listen actively. Thus, if you are speaking with someone who appears disinterested or continually distracted by their device, it is perfectly acceptable to end the conversation. Engaging in a conversation with someone who is unresponsive is much like talking to yourself. It is pointless to continue a dialogue with someone who does not listen or value your input. You should not waste your time on individuals who fail to appreciate your perspective. Feel free to end the conversation or indicate your desire to leave. You are not required to show respect to someone who ignores your words and pretends to pay attention while being distracted. Some people find themselves caught in a web of conflicts, viewing life as a series of relentless challenges. They often express dissatisfaction, yet make little effort to improve their situation. This person tends to complain about their circumstances to everyone around them, highlighting their struggles and expressing confusion about their reality. It is wise to be cautious around such individuals, especially if they seem perpetually trapped in a cycle of difficulties. It is essential to understand that this situation is not simply a series of unfortunate events or a widespread conspiracy. Individuals often play a role in their own difficulties through unwise choices and a lack of learning from past errors. Associating with someone who consistently faces obstacles can lead to these problems affecting your own life. Additionally, they may struggle with managing their emotions. Therefore, it is wise to approach such individuals with a certain level of caution. If you feel the urge to help someone trapped in a cycle of challenges, proceed thoughtfully. Be aware that the issues faced by others may inadvertently affect you. It is essential to recognize that a person who frequently finds themselves in dramatic situations is likely dealing with real difficulties, which should not be mistaken for your own, especially since everyone has their unique set of challenges. Therefore, it is crucial to approach your interactions with such individuals with care. The seventh category includes those who consistently irritate you and firmly believe they are always correct. It is normal to feel frustrated with someone from time to time, particularly in stressful situations. However, if you find their presence bothersome, even in peaceful moments, it may suggest they are subtly instigating you with confusing ideas and doubts. Proceed with great caution, as these emotional and psychological tactics often develop slowly and can be difficult to identify. Certain individuals find enjoyment in eliciting reactions from others. It is important to recognize these subtle forms of manipulation, as they can often go unnoticed. If someone consistently annoys you, it may indicate that they are intentionally trying to provoke you through their behavior and language. Keep a vigilant eye on these actions and be ready to respond thoughtfully. To protect your emotional health and maintain positive relationships, it is essential to distance yourself from toxic individuals. These individuals are well known for spreading negativity, eroding self-confidence, and creating a harmful environment. Their toxic behaviors may include relentless criticism, emotional manipulation, and disrespectful actions. The presence of such individuals frequently leads to a damaging atmosphere that can diminish your happiness and productivity. The harmful negativity they spread can infiltrate and impact those around them. Building healthy relationships requires the ability to identify and avoid these harmful influences. Engaging with toxic individuals can often undermine self-esteem, as they take advantage of your doubts and insecurities. Valuing yourself means recognizing toxic behavior, setting boundaries, and prioritizing your emotional well-being. It is essential to communicate assertively and voice your discomfort when faced with toxic actions. However, if the negativity continues, maintaining distance is essential for safeguarding your mental well-being. Avoiding trust and respect for toxic individuals serves as a crucial strategy for emotional self-protection. By recognizing harmful behaviors, establishing boundaries, and seeking out supportive relationships, you can create a more positive environment and enjoy more fulfilling interactions. Be cautious of those who pretend to value you while secretly spreading harmful gossip about you and others. It may not be surprising if you become the target of such rumors. These individuals skillfully shift from friendly interactions to speaking ill of you behind your back. When you notice this kind of deceitful behavior, it is wise to end the relationship immediately. Integrity and honesty are vital components of any relationship. Engaging with deceitful individuals can be damaging and toxic. Therefore, it is crucial to prioritize your peace and well-being. Recognizing duplicitous behavior is crucial, and choosing to distance yourself is often the most prudent decision, as it can prevent a range of adverse effects on your life. If there are any other types of individuals we may have missed, please share your thoughts in the comments. Additionally, if you have had experiences with any of the personalities mentioned in this video, we would love to hear your stories in the comments section. I hope you found this message useful. If you appreciated the video, please consider leaving a comment. Your feedback is invaluable to us. Additionally, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, we encourage you to do so at this time. Our channel offers invaluable insights, and subscribing is free of charge. Many men often make errors in their relationships by oversharing. They disclose details about their meals, their whereabouts, their companions, and even their bathroom habits. In this video, I will outline 5 things you should never reveal to your partner. If you aspire to maintain happiness and a strong bond with her or any woman, have you ever given your all to someone only to feel exploited and betrayed? At times, we invest everything in a relationship, yet our efforts and dedication go unrecognized, leading to emotional harm. It is now your duty to protect your heart and soul from such experiences. Today, I will share 5 pieces of misguided advice that you should adhere to if you wish to maintain control over your life in any situation. First, avoid allowing physical attraction to cloud your judgment. While we cannot overlook the significance of appearance and beauty, as a charming smile and alluring eyes can certainly captivate us, it is essential to recognize that attraction to someone's looks is a natural response. However, we must be cautious, as beauty can often be deceiving. It represents only a fraction of an individual. When you find yourself drawn to someone who is physically appealing, it is vital to remember that there is much more to a person than their exterior. A striking appearance does not guarantee a kind heart. It can be likened to an attractive book cover concealing empty pages. Second, refrain from declaring your love too readily. Love plays a vital role in our lives. When it comes to matters of the heart, it's important to exercise caution. Avoid recklessly expressing your emotions as if they hold no significance. Love is a serious commitment. If you encounter someone you are attracted to, that's perfectly fine. However, surrendering your entire heart too quickly can lead to regret. By rushing into love, you may become vulnerable to those who might take advantage of your feelings. There are individuals who will accept your affection, manipulate it, and ultimately discard it as if it were insignificant. So, what is the best course of action? Maintain control over your emotions. It is essential to safeguard your heart. Love should be earned, not freely given. Ensure that the person is worthy of your affection before you offer it. When you give your heart away too easily, you invite potential pain. Avoid being that person. Require them to invest in your love just as you invest in theirs. Always remember, love is precious. Treat it accordingly. 1. Avoid giving your heart to someone who may not value it. You deserve better. Wait for an individual who truly sees and appreciates your worth. Take your time before revealing your feelings. Don't be swayed by mere appearances. It's essential to look beyond the surface and understand their true character. Remember, physical beauty is fleeting, but inner qualities endure. Stay vigilant and don't be deceived by an attractive facade. Delve deeper to uncover their true self. If you discover that beneath the appealing exterior lies a harsh disposition, it's time to reconsider your involvement. You deserve more than superficial attraction. Seek a partner who is authentic, not just visually appealing. Additionally, never compromise your own happiness for the sake of others. You should never have to sacrifice your joy to accommodate someone else. If you find yourself constantly giving while they only take, that is not a healthy relationship. It's a situation where you are being exploited. Reflect on this carefully. Frequently, we alter our identities and go to great lengths to satisfy others. However, what do we receive in exchange? Only insults, disrespect, and betrayal. They perceive us as insignificant, believing they can easily take advantage of us. If you feel that you are being taken for granted, it may be time to reassess the situation. You are not meant to be someone else's doormat. Your value exceeds that. Cease compromising your own well-being for those who fail to appreciate it. A healthy relationship should be founded on mutual respect and care, rather than one individual sacrificing everything for the other. If they expect you to be the sole contributor, they do not deserve your efforts. Your happiness is paramount. Do not sacrifice it for someone who fails to recognize its worth. You should never have to lose your sense of self to be with someone. Seek a partner who desires your happiness as much as their own. That is the essence of a truly healthy relationship. Be cautious of those who use flattering language. Words can be inexpensive, and some individuals excel at manipulating them. They may share enticing narratives and make promises, yet often fail to follow through. It's easy to be swayed by charming dialogue, but the repercussions can be significant. Always pay attention to their actions, rather than solely their words. Actions convey more meaning than mere statements. Someone might claim to care for you, but if their behavior contradicts that claim, it amounts to nothing more than empty talk. Look for genuine effort rather than just appealing phrases. If someone is all talk without action, consider it a warning sign. Don't be misled by attractive words that lack real meaning. You are seeking authenticity, not a fantasy. Avoid settling for someone who tells you what you want to hear, but vanishes when it truly matters. Keep in mind that talk is simple. Anyone can make claims. What truly counts is their behavior. Stay vigilant for the reality that lies behind their words. You deserve a partner who not only expresses their care, but also demonstrates it in meaningful ways. It is important to remember to guard your past, particularly the more challenging aspects, until you truly know someone. Life is filled with highs and lows, and while we all have our struggles, they do not define us. In the quest for connection, it can be tempting to reveal our deepest secrets, but it is wise to be selective about whom we confide in, especially early in a relationship. Not everyone is worthy of your vulnerabilities right away. Some may exploit your past against you. Take the time to build a relationship with someone who genuinely understands, respects, and values you before sharing the burdens that weigh on your heart. Your history is an integral part of your identity, but it does not define your entirety. It is essential to ensure that others appreciate you for who you are in the present, without casting judgment on your past experiences. The key takeaway is to embrace your history, sharing it only when you feel comfortable and with those who truly value you. Your challenging experiences deserve to be shared with someone who will offer unwavering support. This narrative is not meant for everyone. It is crucial to safeguard your feelings and take control of your connections. Now, make a commitment and express it in the comments. Focus solely on growth and self-betterment, leaving behind any weaknesses. I am determined to evolve into my best self. If you resonate with this commitment, I will feature the most inspiring comment on our channel. Remember to subscribe to our channel